Something does not look like the rest of it. Can you guess what it is? Well, good morning, everybody. We're gonna go fence checking today. Got ourselves some posts here in case we need it. Got a post driver, fence stretchers to stretch barbed wire, some barbed wire. Got some other barbed wire over there, some wood wire. Got some clips in there. So that's pretty much it. Oh, I got the chainsaw in the front seat with me in case we need to cut some wood. So anyway, we got the old farm truck on the old farm trailer. Got tires checked. One was flat. Hopefully it doesn't go flat again. We got the ramp sitting back there. We're gonna put the four-wheeler in the trailer and take off. There we go. That shouldn't go nowhere. Ooh. Slide the ramps up and toss them inside the four-wheeler. Ready to head north to the field that's also a pasture. Alright, we'll catch you guys at the pasture. Alright, we have arrived at the pasture, or field, or whatever you want to call it. Right now it's a field, pretty soon it's going to be a pasture. Well, anyway, we had corn here this year, and we chopped it for silage. So that's why you won't see too many stalks or any field debris. Marked the wrong direction there. The door is going to want to fly back shut on me, so that'll be fun. May have to go get something to hold it open. Yep, that's what I have to do. So we're going to run up here, grab a pitchfork and shovel off the back of the truck. Those are always handy for lots of different things. Probably around more more. That's what's first on there. Knock off my hand from the tire. Yeehaw. Behind the door swinging. Find a little crevice. Oops, too far. That works out pretty well. Nice little door crease. If I had our aluminum Wilson trailer, that door swings all the way back against the hinges, but we might have enough east wind that it would still blow shut. All right. toss these back in there and shut the door. Excuse me. So I get fence checking duty today because we got to get the rest of our cows home from pasture. My uncle had hired hand for the day. I'm bringing home a couple of some different small groups, and my dad's going to try to harvest beans by himself today. First, he's got to get some trucks dumped. So anyway, well, we're gonna. I pulled up on the wrong side. Around the other side. I got a little piece of plastic that's a little loose under there in my turn shark. That likes to, the wheel likes to grab it. Put our pitchfork back. And we're gonna grab our roll of barbed wire. Kind of an old roll of barbed wire. And our bucket with clips. Also some things called gripples in there. We have some older wire up here that likes to break sometimes. Be careful, so you keep those around. And fence stretchers to pull it back tight. We keep them here on the back. Strap over them. There we go, that's tight. And a little smooth wire and my fence pliers. So it's always handy to throw the wire in rolls over the top of the basket. And we always have them baskets to carry things. We used to use milk crates, but those were plastic and breaky, so we built some metal ones. And I think other than grabbing me a set of gloves, I'm ready to go. So I'm gonna set you guys down and do that. Alright, well, we're gonna go start checking fence here. Some of this fence is just 2-wire and 3-wire fence. Just kind of made to keep cows corralled that we run on stalks and bean stubble. This particular fence here on this end is 3-wire. It's a lot easier to check it from the outside of the fence because all the trees. So pretty much just checking for broken wires and clips off. So we're gonna mosey along here and see any clips off yet. Usually there's not too much of a problem. Sometimes we have some broken wires, some deer jumping over them, or wind blowing just right, or something along those lines. It's kind of a monotonous job, but you get to see some scenery and be outside. It's a bit of a chilly morning, but not too bad here. Sometimes it's a little hard to tell. I'm probably more worried about the top 2 wires than I am the bottom wire here. If something's all bottled up around the bottom one, I won't get too shook out probably. Especially since it's just for cows. I really probably need to clean some of these trees up, but hey, that takes time. That fence there is a little low behind these trees. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I don't think I'm too worried about it because I can't get it in reverse. There we go. Because we're gonna have to walk through a bunch of trees to get to it. Oh, there's a top wire there. I missed the top wire. Oh, we're good then. Probably not a huge deal in the long run. Right into a small tree there. Yeah, look at it right there. That clip's not on. So I'm gonna stick you guys between my legs. And we're gonna bend it just a little bit. sometimes fencing's not as easy as it looks like it ought to be. There we go. Now, Bob. Anyway, I won't have you guys ride with me the whole time here. Looks like there's one back in there that I'm probably not real worried about, but I'll put it on it while I'm here. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop you guys because I don't think I can take a camera in there. Well, hello again. I got cold. Put my hood up. The wind's blowing pretty good. It's not too terrible cold today, but back in here, got all the way down the fence line. Really wasn't anything too terrible wrong with this. I think I might bring a post down here later and when I get done with the rest of it and just kind of shore up a little spot that we've had trouble with in the past. So the fence goes that way and kind of moseys around and goes through some creeks, and but I'm actually going to go around the other way, go back and start going the other way. So anyway, well, we're going to hop on the trusty steed here and head that direction. Say hi to the neighbor cows. Gotta come back and push this tree limb off the field too. Fell down, looks like. Luckily it didn't fall on the fence, or I would have had some fence to fix. This is actually a brome field that we hay each year, and got some other brome fields back in the back that we hay, and the cattle graze it this winter. Looks like it got a little weedy this year for some reason. Probably might have had some armyworm infestations. So that might be contributing to it, so we might have to do some spraying. We'll have to see. So some people might wonder why we don't use a side-by-side for this. We do have a gator. We just, that's only been in the last few years that we got one of those. And pretty sure they used to check it on horseback before they had four-wheelers. That would have been a lot of fun trying to carry a bunch of stuff on horseback. But this just is a little more maneuverable in places. You can still carry about everything you need. I left like the bigger stuff that in the truck that if I need I just come back and get it. So hopefully there's not too much wrong with it. We can bring cows up here and turn them out and they can graze for a little while. Until they get hungry and see the neighbor's corn stalks and start jumping this 2-wire fence. We usually have 1 or 2 a year that are constant problems until we get them moved. So they'll just get demoted and go to a different pasture when that happens. Oh, we need to fix the driveway. There's a washout there. So they did some terrace work in this field too. I was going to show you guys that before I started checking the fence here, but I'll do that on the way to checking the fence. Had some big rains a couple years ago that didn't do them any good. Had some big rains this spring right before we planted, so we didn't really have time to fix them before we planted. Figured we better get them fixed this fall. So we had a local fellow that does work like that. See one of the network. I don't know if you guys will be able to see me do this or not. Check the camera and see. Anyway, there's a bazillion different ways to somebody can put these on. Probably should have put my gloves on. But sometimes a screwdriver is easier to put them on with, but I don't like carrying 10 different tools. Bend one end around like so, and I usually crimp the other end. I don't know if you saw me do that or not. I'll have to see. But you can put it on the other way too, where it starts over the top and you have to pull it around. I kind of do both, just depends on sometimes where the barb is on the wire. So anyway, well, chugging along here. It's pretty hard to see this on camera, but I've got enough fence that I can usually eyeball stuff pretty good, so I don't know. Here's the light pole, the marking spot where I quit. Terraces. Here we did some rebuilding of some terraces here on the ends. Kind of washed out pretty good there. Kind of see where it washed the field pretty good. Got that one rebuilt back up. Got several more along the way. Wind really bad there. Came up. Anyway, well, we're going to go back here and show you some more terrace work on the other end of the field when I get to that point. Catch you in a little bit. Anybody want some water? The water tower's right here next to this field. It's not too terrible old, fairly new. There's a lot of customers around here, not as many as the Water District of the North, but this is Water District 2, Osage County. That's where our water comes from. Our wells are just to the north of us here. So, anyway, neat little fact. So here's some more of the terrace work that was done on this field. It's not a huge field. I think there's 44 acres between the two up here, I think, or thereabouts. Plenty large for us. We do have some bigger ones. It washed pretty bad through here. Broke some terraces. Got all that fixed up. I think he did this with just a skid loader. I always kind of figured he might do it with a dozer. About that. Cool. We got to the point where we couldn't even drive over this part of the field here. There's a huge gully. I'm going to work on one here too. Got a pond in there. Cows to drink out of while they're in here. We got a hydrant below it, so when it gets frozen, we can still water the cows. Pulls out of the pond and puts it in the tank. It's been all rough for a while. Probably gonna have to bring a disc in here. We usually work ground before corn, but not necessarily before beans. Beans will be what's planted here next year. More than likely. under places. You gotta duck your head sometimes. I'll kind of get down in here to a point where I'm gonna have to probably do some walking. Maybe not. I have to walk back here a little bit. All right, walk back here. This tree here fell on the fence a few years ago. Cut it up, fixed up the fence. Pretty well rotten now. It's pretty well rotten when it fell too, so it's even more rotten now. So this is just a 2-wire fence here, holding the cows back, keeping them on our property. And it looks pretty good. I'm gonna mosey on down the fence here a little ways, and then I'll have to get on the other side of the hedgerow. I might be able to squeeze, I probably can squeeze through this end of it rather than having to go down to our big opening where we take the bigger equipment through. Got to put it back in neutral to start it again. Thought I'd show you one reason why four-wheelers do have some advantages to this. Squeeze through here. Turns into 3 or 4 wire fence. Oh, actually, it's got 5 wires there. Probably not all the way, but it could use a little TLC. See where that water? Oh, I guess there's a little slough there that runs down. Anyway, well, now I got to make my way through this mess. I'd like to bring the skid loader up here and mow this. Been meaning to for several years. Mow a good path through it. Haven't got to it yet, so wish me luck. Well, I made it through all that mess. Wasn't anything really wrong with the fence at all, fortunately. It was it's kind of old hedgerow, grew up in it, and there's not even a lot of posts in it. It just kind of weaved in there. And now we're here on what's a fairly new fence. Got a nice stream that runs here. Fortunately, we have some water gaps up here that are probably going to be the biggest problem in this place, so we'll find out when we get there. But this here used to be an old railroad line, and in fact I think it was abandoned, oh, maybe even after I was born. I'd have to ask Dad to remember for sure. Might have been right after Mom and Dad got married in the early 90s. So anyway, well, we're gonna mosey on here. Well, here's water gap number 1 or number 3, however you want to look at it. Water goes from side to side. Water gaps are kind of one of those things where good fencing is a bad thing, because then that means it rips your whole fence out. You kind of want just enough there to deter them if water comes raging through here, that hopefully it'll just break away and you can fix it. So but you do kind of have to do some things, but there's a lot of trash and stuff in this water gap. But actually it looks remarkably well. Dummy me, forgot my ooh, I gotta be careful. There's a big, I didn't look up, that's a big old branch right there, and it's just barely leaning on that tree and would catch the four-wheeler. So I'm gonna have to be a little careful of that. But looking over there on the other end, other than the post leaning, eventually that post will fall completely over and we'll have to do something pretty major to get that fixed. But luckily we own right across the way there too, this old railroad splits a section, and probably ought to be ours in our opinion, but it's getting maybe turned into a rail trail, which is what a lot of the old railroads are getting turned into around here. But I guess they've already walked under this tree once, so we'll risk it. And didn't wear my mud boots like a dummy, so if I have to go into the creek, I'll have to go back and get them, because I'm not going to ruin my leather ones. I thought I'd check and see what I think of this post. Well, it's actually still pretty solid. Cows can't really get under that. There's some trash and stuff there, so I think that one's in good shape. So on to the next one. Well, I changed my mind after I shut the camera off. I decided I was going to come back and go the other way around the fence to the first water gap or third water gap, whichever you want to call it, and then I'll check out the other one from the middle. But say hi to the neighbor's cows again. Moo! Looks like they might have fed him something. But anybody know what these things are? Comment down below if you know. They're hedge balls. Come off hedge trees. That's what this is, a hedge tree. So if you ever hear the word hedge posts come out of hedge trees. And these are basically the fruits that they produce. I think you could eat them if you really wanted to, but I don't know that I've ever heard anybody actually doing it. So they just kind of fall there and make a mess. Cattle can't eat them, cows do. Calves that eat them can be a problem because they'll choke on them and then they can die. So anyway, hedge trees are wonderful things for some, not so much for others. They're also thorny too. Not as bad as locust trees, but anyway. I'm gonna keep on moseying around. Something does not look like the rest of them. Can you guess what it is? Boy, that's right, it's a donkey. Pretty sure he uses that for breaking calves to lead. He's getting camera shy, walking away. Oh, the rest of them, oh, they're gonna come up. They're gonna come up, they're friendly. They want food. What's up here, kiddos? That one's sure curious. Well, I got this little mess here checked. Had some old trees that had fallen down. Still got a few more to fall down, but none have fallen down this year yet, thankfully. Probably just need to cut them down, but anyway. Well, we're gonna keep moseying along here. So here's some gates that are crossing across the trail or old railroad here. We've got another set of gates that run into our other pasture here. So we usually winter cows starting out on this pasture that I'm checking the fence on, and then later on we move them across the way to this pasture, and they calve on this one. Dad got in here and did some mowing in some places. Another pond over there, and the blacktop road to Overbrook. So yeah, crew that's trying to turn this old railroad into a trail's been in here the last year or so working on clearing up this trail. So it's not supposed to be one of those ones, no four-wheelers or ATVs or anything like that. It's supposed to just be horses and walking and stuff, but I think it'd be a lot more fun if you turn it into a four-wheeler trail. We could get used a lot more around here. But anyway, that's not for me to decide. All right, we're gonna keep chugging along on the fence here. Well, made it to the other side of the creek. Boy, this is washed a lot worse than what I remember it being here, but it might have been a couple years since I've been back in here. So I made it to the first water gap coming around from the other way. The fence was pretty good. There's one big, kind of a big limb of a tree hanging over the top of the fence, but it wasn't on the fence. And I don't think it's something that we'd have to take care of right now, so we may not. I don't think I'm going to do anything with it today. I might be able to do something with it another day. I got a duck to get through here. And the deer we can scare out. Check this. I've drove back in here before, but growing up so much, I'm gonna have to do some work to get back in here again. Check the fence as I walk along. Didn't grab any clips. Should have brought some clips in. We got pliers though. I brought my rifle in case I saw a coyote, but I didn't do that. But that would have been kind of a pain to carry through all of this. I guess I'm a little farther from the water gap than I thought. Because normally you can drive through that. Not anymore. Like the fence is still doing pretty good here. You can see the railroad was a lot higher than right about the top of the fence than it was here. So I did a lot of fence walking the other day when I didn't take my camera with me. I just kind of had my phone and took a few little blurbs was all. And I should have figured out a way to drive through here. A little longer walk than I was intending on. And I'm walking on a path that either deer or some other kind of wildlife have made. I haven't scared any deer out yet. Scared a pretty big one out the other day. He was a nice looking buck. Alright, now we're getting close to the other water gap. Then I'll have to cross the creek and check out the one that's in the middle. The river kind of bends back around and runs back through the fence again. There's a little bridge where some water runs under. Pretty stout crossing there, I'd say. I still see a wire hanging here. By some miracle, it might still be intact. This is usually the one that is not intact. Ooh. I think. Oh, there's some fishies in the water. I don't know if you saw that, but I scared them away. But looks like there's a third wire here that's supposed to go on the bottom. Maybe I need to try to redrive that post because they could walk in there. So I'm probably gonna have to go back and get the post driver and the mud boots and come all the stinking way back down here. I should have brought it with me when I came, or didn't. Looks like it might have got cold. It was below freezing last night. We got cold enough. We got some ice on the water. It would have been gone already. But no, we just gotta really all that's there is needs that poster kind of redrove. It's really not too bad. So anyway, well, we'll see what we can come up with. There's another cool old railroad bridge crossing. Looks like it's still in pretty good shape too. Not sure you'd want to do more than maybe walk or drive a four-wheeler across it, just in case, but it seems to be in pretty good shape. Well, we'll keep walking along the fence here to get to the last water gap, and we'll see what it looks like. Well, here's the other water gap. We had part of a tree fall. This hedge tree here caught it, And this water up here is actually not too bad. Probably need to try to redrive that post in the middle too, but other than that, it actually looks really good. Normally it's all blown out and shoot, you can't find anything. For as much rain as we had earlier this year, I'm pleasantly surprised. And I imagine my dad and uncle will be too. So, I'm not sure a cow could get out of that. They could probably jump that right there if they wanted to. But, yeah, we'll bring a couple posts and post driver and see what we can do. Even if that tree did fall, I don't think it hurt me too bad. It's not too big of a tree. But we'll see what I think. Well, this video is getting kind of long, so I'm going to go ahead and end this one right here. But if you want to find out what happens and follow me for the rest of the day checking fence on this property, please subscribe. I'd appreciate it very much. Give the good old thumbs up button and also leave a comment too if you so choose. So thanks for watching. Hope to see you again.